So this idea of saying people should be allowed to take money and then vote the other way, I think we should stop that now. And to government, we must tell them, victory doesn't have to come at all costs. I know victory is sweet. You can go out of your way to get victory, but government must set example to the people of the country. Of course, there will be tears, but let your tears be the bridges you'll use to cross into 2027 for the opposition. For government, they have won. But will government have presence in the 290 constituencies? And I know what happened. Trying to be nice.
Yes.
Oh, let us give DP because of Justin. They should learn. This is politics. Hakuna nafasi ya kukua na ati mzuri sijui nini. Let us say, do we want to win this seat or we don't?
Yes.
Even in Malaba, they fielded other candidates. Only later did they withdraw them. Damage already done.
Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candid Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinyi. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. The by-elections are gone. It's a win for the broad-based brothers, let me say so. But then, of course, we were looking at these elections. Malava by-election, of course, the UDA candidate David Ndakwa has won that particular election. It's called David Athman Ndakwa, the new Member of Parliament elect for Malava constituency. In Mbeere North, of course, Wamudhende, the UDA candidate in that particular area, has won that election. I've been following these elections and we've been having these analyses with Professor Herman Manyora here previously. And of course, he made some statement back then that if at all the UDA candidates would win in these two constituencies, that there would only be one conclusion that he would draw from that particular outcome. Prof, how are you?
Fine. Yes.
Tell me, what is your assessment now?
What conclusion did I say? What did I say?
You said here that if Seth Panyako loses the election in Malava and Karish loses the election in Mbeere North,
yes,
there's only one conclusion that you make, that is foul play. That is what you said. So let's look at this. Is it the case, or how and why did the opposition lose elections in these particular areas?
Anybody who observed these elections would then make only one conclusion. They were anything but free and fair and credible. There was so much violence in some places. There was massive voter bribery and intimidation and so on and so forth. So it is possible that the elections were stolen. Because you don't steal merely by stuffing the ballots. You can steal by scaring away voters, scaring them away. You can steal through massive voter bribery and using of state resources, which is evident, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. We initially said here that this was a do or die, especially for the government.
The question one must just ask.
Yes.
Because elections is about manipulation, is about all manner of games being played. Because it's not a Sunday school affair. It's not a church election. Even church elections have their own issues. But so we grant all that. But there must be scales, acceptable limits. So that if you're talking about bribery, let it not be in the open, and so on and so forth. So the question one must ask today, if the election in Malava or Mbeere North was conducted in a peaceful environment, free of government machinery and a lot of money being poured, you saw in Malava, wamama watano gunia moja ya mahindi. Broad daylight. So nobody should say I'm against the government or UDA. They did it in broad daylight. You saw mattresses being given. You saw. Say yes for your viewers.
I did see.
In blue in color imeandikwa government of Kenya.
Yes.
You saw a blanket being given kwa mama. Alafu inafunikwa na 1,000 juu. So what I'm saying, supposing that election was conducted without all those manipulations, and would Ndakwa have won?
But then what is the role of the opposition
it's called
in this? Because Wamudende.
Would he have won? You saw crowds of people going to a venue in their thousands, and each of them being given shilingi ya ua. That's what I mean. But you see, the victor is the victor. They have won. If somebody is not happy, they should proceed to court and they challenge the elections. But they have won.
Prof, you clearly spoke here, and I remember you were very categorical and very emotive when we were handling this kind of issue here, and especially with how the government poured a lot of resources in Malava and Mbeere North. And categorically, you were talking to the people of Malava and you were telling them, take the goodies that you've been brought for by the government or whichever side, but then do not vote for them. And in fact, for the first time, I saw you were part.
We need to revise that.
What happened? Did people not buy that kind of idea?
We need to revise that to tell Kenyans it's not good even to take that money. It's not even good to have that mattress. Because the consequences will live long after that. So this idea of saying people should be allowed to take money and then vote the other way, I think we should stop that now. And to government, we must tell them, victory doesn't have to come at all costs. I know victory is sweet. You can go out of your way to get victory. But government must set example to the people of the country that we have some basic values and standards. So when you have a whole CS, my young brother Musalia Mudavadi, giving government appointments in public on a phone, that wewe kutoka leo unakuwa soma hii barua, your education tashe Uganda, wewe unaenda kuwa trader. What does a young man know about trade? It's an insult to the people working in the foreign service. You know what I'm trying to say is that there was naked manipulation of the elections. And going forward, we must not allow those kind of things to take place.
You said here very well that there was a possibility of such kind of things happening.
Yes, I said.
And you said here that the opposition needed to do certain things to avoid finding themselves in that situation.
Yes.
Did they really understand?
No.
What was their role in the laws that they are now?
They didn't understand, but that's water under the bridge. Ndwele si ndwele sijui as Wavinya Ndeti will tell us.
Told us ndwele sipite.
Yes, Peter. So it's ndwele sipite. What is important is that there are lessons to learn from this by-election. For both government, on how not to run an election, on how not to go for victory, and to the opposition, on how to be prepared, especially for 2027. So there are lessons to be picked. No point of blames, no point of regrets, bitterness, just pick the lessons. Of course, there will be tears, but let your tears be the bridges you'll use to cross into 2027 for the opposition. For government, they have won. But will government have presence in the 290 constituencies?
Why not? They have the capacity and the resources to do that.
They will have everywhere. They only had Malava and Mbeere North to descend on. All government power and everything. Government power and force and everything brought to bear on Mbeere North and Malava. They will have 288 more constituencies to take care of. It will not be easy. Yeah.
Okay.
It will not be easy for government. But for opposition, unless they pick the pieces, unless they learn the mistakes, they will not win the 2027 election. Unless they know. You say, and I'll be handling this in another space.
Yes. Don't
be sentimental in an election. Don't take your emotions and pack them in an election. Don't try to be nice or let us be nice, let it be DP as opposed to DCP. You think if that in Better North or the DCP country, he would have lost? He could not have lost.
So if we shift gears and focus on Better North, you were saying here that if it was a DCP candidate as opposed to a DP,
because
in as much as DP
parties are a brand. You know, if you are in an ODM zone, having the ODM ticket itself, you have the election half won already. 3/4 you have already won. But so if you are in Mount Kenya and you are on DCP, tayari umeshinda.
There are several parties in Mount Kenya.
Oh, come on, please DCP. Listen to me. I'm saying there are many in Nyanza, but there's ODM.
What then would you make
Nyanza?
What then would you make
there are many in Ukambani, but there's Wiper. But people also win on other parties in Ukambani. But I'm talking about the main idea of a party of an area. Once you get that ticket, you're almost halfway done.
Okay.
But people still lose, you know. They are MPs. Mwengi Mutuse is not a Wiper MP. Is that? They are there. But largely, broadly speaking, if you are DCP and you're Mount Kenya, you already have won. But you can still lose. So the chances of the DCP candidate having won would have been much higher than this one of DP. Because there's also the brand of a party.
If you look at Mbeere North, actually, this is a place I believe JB Muturi comes from this particular area as well. The former member of parliament for that particular area was on a DP ticket. So therefore, we can still argue that if you look at the
the dynamics have changed. There were parties in Mount Kenya. Now there's only DCP for now. So DCP would have been the better party to use in Mbeere North. And I know what happened. Trying to be nice.
Yes.
Oh, let us give DP because of Justin Muturi. They should learn. This is politics. Hakuna nafasi ya kukua na ati mzuri sijui nini. Let us say, do we want to win this seat or we don't?
Yes.
Even in Malaba, they fielded other candidates. Only later did they withdraw them. Damage already done. You must be ruthless, cold. When you are facing Ruto, my friend, I'll be explaining this later. When you are facing Ruto, you must know who you are dealing with.
You've always argued here that DCP is Gachagua and Gachagua is DCP. In as much as we had a DP candidate in that particular election, Rigathi Gachagua was actively campaigning for him.
But he tried his best. He tried his best with all these things we are talking about.
So what difference would it make if it was DCP? Because at the end of the day, Rigathi Gachagua was still involved in the campaign.
Let me repeat for the sake of those who have not heard properly.
Yes.
When you are in Luo Nyanza and you have ODM, the job is already done for you. The brand ODM, the brand Wiper, the brand DCP in Mount Kenya. Your job is already half done. Inabakia tu kidogo kusukuma ushinde. Although watu wengine ushindwa. I want to make it very clear. Because there are people, when you look at the comments, you wonder, were they listening what you are saying? But by and large, if you are in Luo Nyanza and you have ODM, your job is half done. If you look at Aroko and how he was campaigning, if it wasn't that he was running against ODM, he would have done much better than he did. But the name ODM, and of course then, government and so on and so forth. So DCP is the party of the moment in Mount Kenya. That brand name, DCP, is already magic. Considering this guy won by just about, imagine about 300 votes.
Yes.
Not 3,000, 300.
Yes.
I want to believe it for DCP would have been an easier sell. I was there in 2017, part of NASA. I was doing some work for some of these guys, some consultants. And I could see they lost so many seats because of this nonsense. And they must now learn that in 2027 is hard, cold politics. Hard, cold politics. Hakuna nafasi ya being sentimental, hakuna kupeleka emotions kwa siasa. Kama ni fulani anaweza kushinda, apewe na wengine wakae chini. They should have learned. They should now learn. Even in Malava,
What if
there was no point of DCP.
How do you
putting
know
a
whether
candidate.
that was their honest assessment of the DP candidate?
No, no, it was a
Mbeere
compromise. It was a compromise. The DCP candidate was very popular. He would have won hands down. They had to compromise to give the DP candidate a seat.
So that was a mistake then?
That's a mistake. And they should learn that. Look, unless some of them are moles, and you can't rule that out.
Yes.
And I told Raila this many times, get power first. Get power
First.
Get power
First.
Then make corrections hapa chini. So, if Muturi pushes for a DP candidate, and the candidate not only loses, but the standing of the opposition goes down, the image of the opposition goes down, the invisibility of Gachagua in Mount Kenya goes down, then they lose the presidential election. How will this DP candidate help him? He has already lost, even if he had won. Why wouldn't you go for the bigger thing? The same candidate can fit in government once you have won. So why don't you, and I told Raila repeatedly, focus on the bigger thing. The bigger thing is the presidency. Now they have learned. Now they know that when it will come to 2027, cold, hard considerations. Hakuna hapa tupatie DCP, sababu hapo tulikuwa tumepatia DP, lakini unajua DAP hapa Western, mmepata mingi, wacha DCP jaribu hapa. Not that. They must be very brutal in their approach to the politics of 2027.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to Malava. The other time you told me here that all that the opposition needed to do in that particular area was to unleash George Natembeya.
Yeah, they didn't do it.
And the tower effect would actually work for them.
They didn't listen.
What happened? Did they listen to you?
No. They were still fighting their own small wars.
But did I see Natembeya
They were
campaign
still,
for
to be in
self
charge.
Kanyako?
To be in charge is different. No. There were still shackles.
So you believe that Natembeya was sidelined?
He's like he was forcing himself in. He needed to be the guy running the campaign. And they needed to have a secretariat. They needed to take this Malava by-election seriously. Because it is telling the people of Western a story. If you want to push people away from Ruto in 2027, the story must begin in Malava. Now you have planted doubt in the people of Mlembe Nation. Now those who have been selling Ruto have a field day. So they needed to have taken this Malava by-election very seriously, the way Ruto took it. They needed to have had a secretariat in Kakamega town, headed by Natembeya. He's the one running the campaign, because he's the one on the ground. He's the one running the
campaign.
So that Eugene Wamalwa will be doing national duty together with Kina Kalonzo. Another mistake they also made, together with Kina Gachagua. In another space, I'm going to explain all this. Yeah, how they made those mistakes. And another thing, it's all about seriousness.
Yes.
And even Raila kept saying, an election is something you must take very serious. To win an election. That's why some of us can't stand. Because you must make something a matter of life and death, which I find very difficult for me. But if you want, once you make it okay, I've seen at the university, somebody wants to be a dean, something I consider to be too inconsequential, too small. But somebody campaigns as if he's campaigning to be the president of some serious country, not even Kenya. So you must have that. And I kept telling Raila, I don't see the evidence of seriousness in your campaign, you people. And therefore, in Malava, they ought to have shown that seriousness. In fact, this may not even be a very good thing to say. They ought to have mobilized resources.
Yeah, and that is why actually I was coming to the place of money, financial resources, in our elections moving forward? Because we are looking at this situation. Look at the kind of resources that the government actually deployed in these areas versus what the opposition deployed. How did this actually work out? And of course, we are here seeing the results here. And what does this actually
unless you are doing excesses,
from here?
Unless you are doing excesses, in order to remove a bad government, there are certain things you may not like, but you will have to do to remove that bad government. Once you are in power, because you need that power, you begin to change things. Look, you are right. Our elections have been polluted and bastardized, corrupted beyond measure. And the place of money in our elections, 2022, 2027, especially 2027, even these by-elections, you can see the place of money. So if you approach this election without resources, then even the bad government you want to remove, assuming it is bad, the one-term president you want to remove, you will not remove him. Because we have corrupted our politics, bastardized it, and make money the focal point. So, you may not match shilling to shilling, but you have to put resources in this game. Once you put resources in this game, and you win the 2027 election, you now begin to educate the country. Tell people, we are here to save this country.
And we cannot go that direction.
This is not the direction to go. Money cannot be allowed to ruin a country. And then you put measures and practical things into place. And people can now begin to see. You cleanse the politics. You drain the politics of the pollutants that are inside, the corruption, the money. You unanyonya, you drain the swamp, like people say, drain the swamp in Washington. Then come 2032, 2037, people can now begin to see we can have healthy, hygienic politics where money is only facilitative for logistic purposes and not to bastardize the election. But you need to have resources. You have asked me whether something was in Malaba. I will be surprised if these guys could even have used 20 million.
Okay.
I was not there, but I will be surprised. I will be shocked if in Mbere these guys used 30 million or 40 million. I will be very shocked.
How much did you expect them to use?
There was some tabulation of how much money will be approved for election. There was something like that. It places an election at around 40 million per constituency. 25 to 40. They were varying between 25 and 50. So an average of 40 million. And in a by-election, a lot more money is used than the other election because the forecast is there. So going by that, in an ordinary by-election, they would need maybe 60, 70 million shillings, which is a lot of money, by the way, which is bastardizing the politics, like I've said. But in this particular instance, they were going against government machinery.
Yes.
And I'm not saying they were going to match government resources, but they needed resources of their own. Even if it is for logistics. The need for logistics was even more, to be everywhere, to ensure people are not being bribed, to mobilize media. I'm not talking bribing voters. You need money to mobilize media, to have people moving around, making sure people are not polluting politics. There is something like citizens' arrest. If we find you with a lorry distributing maize for free to voters, we are justified as voters to arrest you and that lorry to be detained and take to the police station without beating anybody. Citizen arrest. You cannot do that unless you can mobilize people. You have the resources to do that. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying.
I get you.
Yeah? Or people to move to court under certificate of urgency and stop those people Mudavadi was appointing. You go to court immediately under certificate of urgency.
Okay.
And say, move the court to make a pronouncement before the election is done. Those kind of things, you need resources. You need lawyers. You need a functional secretariat. And that's why I'm saying they also needed some little money to have to put in this. Now the third bit is, are you sure they didn't have money?
No, that is a question. Because having it is one thing, spending it is another.
I've said it before. When Uhuru supported Raila, people thought Raila will have access to a lot of money from Uhuru. Let somebody come in this country who has the facts and tell me that Uhuru gave Raila $1 billion. I'm waiting for that. He didn't. He didn't. So even the people saying, oh, Matiangi, Uhuru will sponsor him. There's nothing like he'll give him money. These rich people are so mean. They are mean even to themselves. So that even if it's government money, they can't give it. Government money, money they access freely. You know that those unaccountable funds, they feel pain giving it. And now if you are running against people who have no problem spending, you have a problem. We have to accept these things because we are talking about our country. We are talking about those who think the country is doing so badly, Ruto has to leave. And if Ruto is going to leave, we must pick lessons from these by-elections and agree and admit that some things are wrong. Somebody recently said in a tweet that the Luos are going to register on mass and vote in huge numbers for Ruto. Then I say, but these are people who didn't vote for Raila.
How do you expect them to vote for Ruto?
My is it called timeline or what?
Yes.
My friend. Comments. People hitting at me. But that's the truth. And we said it even in postmortems where Raila was, in meetings. But they could not agree. The same people who are hitting at me, they know I'm saying the truth. And they want to run away from the truth. So you must draw lessons. When you lose an election, it is normal to feel bitter. It's normal to blame others. It's normal to see the world is collapsing. That's very normal. Those are normal reactions. But don't be like Abraham Lincoln, who kept going to the grave and to see the sun. Somebody just almost slapped him, told him choose between one. Continue looking at that body or being president of America. I've heard stories like that. Maybe they are just story the job, but it demonstrates. And in the Bible, there's King David, who couldn't take a shower, couldn't take a bath, couldn't eat when the child was sick. But when the child died, people were shocked. Mfalme akaoga Daudi, akajipaka mafuta, akavaa vizuri. Because it is done. The person has died. The stages of grief are real because we are human beings. But don't spend forever in those stages. Wake up, dust yourself, look at the 2027 and say, yes, Ruto was smarter than us. In Malava, in Mbere. Mistake number one, we did this, now we shall do. We have learned this, up. Beginning with being sentimental and emotional when it comes to who is going to be running on the opposition side. Beginning with resources to mobilize and spend. Don't demobilize and put in your pocket, which is what these politicians do. For every 10 shillings they get to support the campaign, they use 2, they keep 8. And they still hope to win. It's time even the donors insisted that if we give you money for campaign, we must eat, or we finance particular activities. We have learned over the years, and I don't think these by-elections are any different. Any of the people in charge of this by-election, every 100 shillings they receive, I don't think they spend more than 20 shillings. 80 was kept here. So unless they address that issue, first of mobilizing resources and then spending the resources. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a conversation. We're looking at what really happened in the by-elections. How and why did the opposition actually lose? Of course, you've had Professor Herman Manyora here. Weigh in and tell us, what do you think? What are your views? because we'll be more than glad to interact with you. If you're outside then you're watching us for the first time, kindly subscribe to our channel here and be ready to also reach out to us and partner with us. Of course, we can help you reach serious clients outside there. If you've got any business, allow me stop for now till we have this conversation again. Have yourself a lovely day. Thank you for watching. My name is Evans Okinyi.